Defined benefit pension transfer costs and how to save money. Okay, so as you probably already know, defined benefit pension transfer costs are expensive. There's a number of reasons for this, which I've gone into in a much more detailed video, which outlines all the regulation and licensing, PI insurance that people need in order to provide the advice. But whatever, as a client, you don't really care about that. What you care about is how cheap can you get your advice. So I'll give you a couple of tips from my industry knowledge. The best thing you can do in order to try and reduce your cost is have an excellent relationship with your financial advisor. Yes, shop around, compare the market, but once you've compared the market, go back to your financial advisor and say, look, I've decided I definitely want to work with you. You're the best financial advisor. I've read all your reviews. I've spoken to some of your existing clients. I read about you online in the Financial Times, whatever it might be. I've decided I really want to move ahead with you. Now, most clients would think to themselves, okay, I won't say that to my financial advisor, because if I say that, then they'll definitely know they've got me as a client and I lose my ability to negotiate or whatever it might be. I would disagree with that. Once someone knows they have a client, they're probably going to work with them for 5, 10, 15 years, you may be able to try to negotiate with them somewhat on fees. Now, I'm digging myself a hole here because now every single client can try to ask me for negotiation on fees. Here at Cameron James, we have our fixed fee schedule. 3% for transfers up to 250,000, 2% for transfers up to 250 to a million, and 1% sell-up fee for transfers, DB transfers over 1 million. However, depending upon the time of the year or whatever it might be, there might be certain targets that need to be hit for a financial advisor or for a financial advisory firm, which may just take them over a certain boundary. So it's always worth asking. However, this will probably also come down to your pension transfer. How complicated it is and how difficult is it? If you have one large defined benefit pension transfer, you could argue your financial advisor has a little bit less work to be done than say 4 defined benefit pension transfers. But again, there's no guarantee, but by having a good relationship with your financial advisor, being honest with them and telling them you want to move ahead with them and you're planning to work with them long term, you can have the possibility to negotiate on fees. Also, another good thing you can do is say, look, for me, when I work with a lawyer, when I work with an accountant, when I work with anyone, a physio, if they're fantastic, I refer them to like 5 of my friends, just that's naturally who I am. I like helping my friends and family out if I found someone which is good. Tell your financial advisor, if you're not that type of person, don't say it because you don't want to lie. But if you are that type of person, show it. Once you start working with them and they've been good, start introducing people to them, Build that relationship with your financial advisor. The second point that you need to be careful with in terms of reducing your cost is always ask your financial advisor for the total expense ratio of your entire portfolio. Not just the IFA annual management charge or the IFA advice fee or whatever the setup fee or whatever the ongoing fee is from the financial advisor. That's just one part of the pie. You need to understand what is the total expense ratio for completing my initial transfer and the total expense ratio for my ongoing advice costs. So XBS found in 2021 that the average DB ongoing advice cost in the UK was 1.9%. Here at Cameron James, we're about 1.4 to 1.5%, depending upon which underlying platform we have to use. Always ask your financial advisor to put it in a pound and a penny amount how much it's going to cost you each year. So for example, if you have 1%, it makes up a large part of the pie here at Cameron James. Then you have the underlying platform, which is 0.2%. Then you have our underlying portfolio, which is around 0.2, 0.25%, maybe 0.3%, depending upon the client's risk profile. Have that figure very clear when deciding which financial advisor you want to work with. Because one financial advisor may look cheap. They may only be charging 0.5% as a financial advisor ongoing, but the rest of the pie may well take up to 1.9%, which is the current average in the UK. The other thing you need to think about from a cost perspective is performance. You need to understand what you're paying and what the potential return is you may get from that portfolio. Now, we all know past performance is no guide to future performance. Here at Cameron James, our balanced portfolio, which is circa 65% equity weighted, has done around 52.4%, I think it was when I checked this morning, over the course of the past 5 years, including the pandemic, including 2022, which is very volatile. But that good past performance is no guarantee of what's going to happen in the future. However, it at least gives you an understanding of, if you had been invested in that portfolio for 5 years, what level of growth you'd had. So it's really important when you're looking at cost, look at the other side of the equation to understand what are you going to get from that. We have clients all the time often say, Cameron James, thank you for all your initial conversations. I've actually decided I'm going to move ahead with someone else. Just to let you know, they're a little bit cheaper, etc., etc. We always go back to them and say, have you done all these things? Have you looked at the total expense ratio? Have you actually looked at what the performance of their underlying portfolio was over the course of the 5 years? But not just the portfolio performance, what level of risk have they taken? Say they're advising you in an adventurous portfolio, 80, 90% equity weighted. We're advising a 65% equity weighted, and we've outperformed them. Not only have you got more growth, but you've taken less risk, which is really important as well. So those would be my top reasons or top ideas to try to save money on your final salary pension transfer. I'll also be doing another video which you can see, which is talking about how sometimes you can go too far with this and how people need to pay attention when trying to reduce costs. You can actually create damage and destroy wealth when completing a final salary pension transfer. Guys, please always remember to subscribe to the channel below. Let me know if you have any tips or tricks or things you want to talk about in the comment section below for how to obtain cheaper financial advice, and I look forward to responding to you personally. As always, take care with your UK pension assets.